We're live. Lads, lassies, welcome back to the YouTube, and more importantly, welcome back to the 2019 Moomba Masters. We are here in Melbourne, Australia at the first big event for wakeboarding, water skiing and wake skating of 2019. It's an action-packed weekend, and actually this is not the weekend. I'm in Dublin, Ireland, and I've decided to do a reaction / commentary video of the wakeboard men's final. I have not actually yet watched it. I've seen the final winning run, and that is it. So I thought it would be good fun, I thought it would be practice, and I also thought it would be a good way for you guys to see what actually happened last weekend. WWA Moomba Masters, please don't demonetize this video, as I have completely stolen your footage, but I feel like it's extra reach for you guys, so it kind of works both ways. Anyway, I'm going to start the screen recording because, as I mentioned, this is all stolen, and I believe we are now recording. Basically, this contest is an unusual one because there are actually 8 people in the finals, which is completely, in my opinion, a little bit too many, because that's not really a finals, but nonetheless, it does make it quite interesting. Now, one thing that a lot of broadcasts don't kind of talk about is prize money and how that works, and I'm definitely going to play that into this video because it completely takes a toll on your tactic, on how things go, particularly if you have a crash. So our first rider, and I don't have a running order in front of me now, I couldn't find it online, but I will put it here for you because now we've obviously seen this, I can add it in the editing. But our first rider, I am aware, is Mr. Sam Bran. He's a young Australian buck, I believe maybe 16 or 17 years of age. He's been around a long time. He's actually probably one of the best wakeboarders, never mind his age. For him to make it into a final like this is a massive achievement. So you know already he's buzzing, but he's going to do his best to get up the rankings, try and make himself a little bit extra cash, because when you're 16, cash is king. And not only that, he's also going to try and really stomp his name on the agenda. But right now, first trick, a back mob with his own little stylish grab. I believe it's called a seatbelt. That is definitely very, very unique, because he comes in for a second trick, Stalefish tantrum to blind, and he goes down. Now I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't know you very well, Sam, but I'm guessing probably a little bit disappointed. As you can see on his face right now, he's smiling. That's good sportsmanship, but you're definitely thinking to yourself, crap, crap, crap. And when you're lying in the water at that moment, you're fully thinking like, oh my God, what do I do next? What do I do next? What do I do next? Like, you're thinking of all the different possibilities. You only get one fall. So the boat will collect you one time, but it won't collect you a second time. The other thing to bear in mind is you only get 4 tricks up and 4 tricks back. Now, that works in favour for someone like Sam Bran if he doesn't fall, because he might not have as many big tricks as guys like Harley and guys like Corey Tunison. But at the same time, now he's just taking a fall. He's not going to get time to probably fit in another 3 tricks. So it's going to take a toll, and then if he's only getting, let's say, 6 or 7 out of 8 tricks, he's down, he's already missing out. So every trick now matters so much. So as he's getting back up, he's definitely got 100 things going on in his mind, trying to figure out what's next. Do I continue my run? Do I scrap the Stalefish tandem blind? What goes on? You can actually see that right there. So he was thinking, I'm going to go toe side, and now he's like, no, I'm going the other side. Probably wasted a little bit of time there, but sometimes it's best. Let the boat get back up to speed. Heel side edge, backside 720, clean as a whistle. So that for Sam is a really, I want to say it's a good comeback, but at the same time, he needs to get a lot more. Like, he's got so many big names. I'm not actually sure who is in this final, but I've no doubt, I did see Gunther Oka was in there, Corey Tunison, Harley Clifford. These are all big, big names in wakeboarding, and they know exactly how to compete. And if I'm being completely honest, they're sitting on the dock thinking, right, that's Sam Bran not having to worry too much. And I know that's controversial, but the wakeboarding is a ruthless place when it comes to this competition. Everyone's friendly, but you're also still, you've got that kind of, everyone wants to win. Everyone's there to win. So, we're going to get him turned around. I'm actually just going to skip forward on this live stream because I can. Alright, so he's coming in to his second pass. Now, Sam is young, he's got so much time ahead of him, and he actually is one of the youngest riders with style and steez, and I remember that from even when he was 12 or 13. He always had his own flair to his wakeboarding. Now, coming in, first trick, There it is, the double cab roll. So Sam Bran not messing around at all. He is aware of his situation. Backs it up with the Chromo 540. So Sam not taking anything for granted right now. Coming in toe side. What's it going to be? Toe side, backside, 540, landing inside wrapped or funny wrapped. The judges are definitely going to like that. Adding his own style. Last trick, toe side 900. A tiny bit sketchy, but I'm going to go ahead and say that that is a fantastic show to his character and what he's really capable of. That's probably his first ever final. He took an early crash. Your confidence would be rock bottom. And for Sam to come back and like literally stomp it and do double cab roll, first trick, second pass, is extremely impressive. So hats off to you, Sam. I'm sure we'll be seeing many more of you in the finals. So second rider off the dock, Gunther Oka. Now, this is a man that you'd often see in a cable final. In fact, in my opinion, Gunther is probably, at the moment in 2019, the most all-around wakeboarder when it comes to boat, cable and winching. His real wake part really showed that. And for him to be in a final in a boat contest says it all. Grabbed toe side 900. Now, a 9 is not enough when you're at this level of the top 8 in the world at Moomba Masters. You have to grab it. And there's a P5. So Gunther right now stepping up, literally going all out. And there's another Pete Rose with the tail grab. It's actually one of my favourite tricks to see Gunther do off a kicker. For him to put that on the boat, it's definitely interesting. And now wrapped toe side, backside 720. I'm a fan of toe back sevens. I will say Gunther may have been looking to grab that because I know himself, he takes a lot of value and a lot of pride in grabbing things and making it look as best as he could. Right there, the competition conditions could have got to him because it happens so fast. And that's one thing I think I need to kind of get a message across. When you're in a competition environment, you are stressed. Like, it is happening so fast. It's not like going for a cruise up and down your lake like you may be used to. It's a very intimidating and unusual feeling. But so far, Gunther, I mean, he's one of the greats, so he's definitely not struggling, but I'm looking forward to his second pass. So in the Moomba Masters, you may have noticed they appear to drop people at the other end. Now the reason for this is because I've been to the location and it has vertical walls, so there's a whole lot of washback that can be very challenging when you're riding. So often what happens is in the earlier rounds they might just ignore that, but when it comes to the final, to really get the most out of the riding, they'll actually drop you, let it calm down, and then boom, a minute later you're back in. You can see the boat's bouncing a tiny bit, but it's alright. Now Gunther's starting wrapped, so he's a fan of the wrap tricks, and there it is, a backside 7. So he did the toe side backside 7, now he's done the heel side backside 7. Coming in, switch heel side now. There it is, the mute back mob, a little bit sketchy, not so happy with that, but still he landed, he rode away, he didn't waste a trick, although that will 100% affect his execution. And you can see it's actually played in his mind a bit, because I'd say Gunther was going for a crow 5 there, only gets the chromo, but it's okay. There is a heel 7, beginning wrapped and landing inside wrapped. That is probably one of the most stylish tricks we're going to see in this contest. You'll see guys like Sam Bran, guys like Gunther Oka, really pushing the style aspects because they might not have the same hammers that someone like Harley will have, or the Corey will have, or Nick Rappa, who I'm assuming is in this final. So Gunther gets the stand-up pass, and that is extremely important as it plays a bit of mental warfare on the rest of the riders. See, if you hear that boat go up and come back, and you know they didn't fall, it fully takes its toll on your mindset when you're next off the dock. Now, in saying that it was a good run, in my opinion it wasn't a great run. I think he played a little bit too safe. He did make that mistake where he did a crow mob instead of a crow 5, and it was just missing like a double flip that we saw from Sam Brown, or even a 1080, which I have no doubt we'll maybe see from Corey or Harley or someone later. So it was good, but it wasn't great. Now on to our next rider, and I believe it is none other than Kobe France, an Australian man in his home native territory. So he is going to want to do his best to impress right now. So Kobe coming under that bridge right now, getting ready to impress the crowd. Now I say that to be honest, when you're in the moment, you're not even thinking about the thousands of people watching. You're literally just thinking, it's me, it's the wake, let's do this. So Kobe setting up for his first trick, nice and wide. It's going to be a hillside trick. As he enters in, nice strong edge, hillside, rewind, first trick, Kobe France. That is some exotic tricks to be trying first. And not only that, but he stomped it with the grab into the chromo 5, a little bit of a tail press on the landing. You have to be spick and span, as clean as you can to really get the most out of it. And back to back crow 5s. Honestly, I'm not so sure how I feel about it. I guess it shows that you can spin both ways, which a lot of riders can't. And the P5, trick for trick with Gunther Oka right there. So Kobe France, that is an incredible run. Now, I would say that the Crow 5 and the Switch Crow 5 is a temperamental thing to put together because they're very similar tricks. I know they're grabbed, but it kind of, on the flip side, shows that you are an ambi spinner. And I mentioned, we'll talk about this later, as I'm sure some of the riders can't actually spin both ways. I'm kind of guilty of that myself. However, the P5, let's talk about that. That's a really difficult trick. I think JD Webb was the first person to ever put that in a run back in 2012 or 13, and then no one else really did it. Except me, I did it one time. But no, seriously, no one really ever does it in contest, and that's kind of something cool that we're maybe going to see a lot in 2019. So we'll get Kobe dropped in, turned around. I'm just going to skip forward to his second pass. Alright, so as you can see, there are some people in the crowd. Now, I think it's important to talk about what the judges are looking for because I know a lot of you guys will be interested. And generally it's a variation of flips, spins, going high, landing clean, grabbed, and then most importantly, doing something different. So like that rewind that Kobe did first trick is a perfect example. And there he comes in, toe side 1080. Kobe France is not holding back, unfortunately going down there. But Kobe is obviously out there thinking, I want to get the win. I want to prove to these people. I've been around a few years now and I still haven't got the top of that podium, and I want to show people that I can. So although a very risky move to do it first trick, second pass, that is probably a ballsy move, but it would have paid off had he landed it. Now, he did fall. At this point, usually when you fall there, you're thinking, right, I kind of threw it away there. And you like I said earlier, your mind starts racing. How can I recover this? Because recovery is everything. However, when you've only got 8 tricks, if I'm to be ruthlessly honest with you, if you fall, that's it, you're out. Like, you might come 4th, you might come 5th. So actually, when you're sitting there in this position in the water, and unfortunately I can't find the prize money breakdown, he's probably thinking, right, if I come 6th, I'll get X amount of money. If I come 4th, I'll get this much money. So let's try and shoot for 4th. Let's get 2 more good tricks in and like just kind of get the most out of this that I can. So as the boat collects him, this is all the kind of things that go through his mind, and I guess that's a perspective that a lot of fans don't see, because people seem to probably think that all people want is the win. That's all the riders are looking for. But actually, riders have kind of tactics set in place to kind of deal with different scenarios where they fall. But thankfully the boat's getting up to speed pretty fast. He's not going straight for that 1080 again. It's a wise move. So like I said, he's not interested in coming 8th. He wanted 1st, and now he's thinking, right, what's next? Can I get on that podium? Can I get 4th? So there's the toe 9 the opposite way. I've actually never known this about Kobe, that he is an ambi spinner. Respect to him. Are we going to see the 1080 right now? Going in for it, 1080. It takes him down. Kobe France right there, going hell to leather, trying his best to impress the judges, and for that, you have my utmost respect. He went for it, not his day today. He knows the riders after him are definitely going to be able to take it, but an impressive run. Alright, so our next rider is Shota Tezuka from Japan. He is one of the most impressive and well-established competitive, I said that funny, competitive wakeboarders in the whole world. He has so many years of experience. He knows exactly what to do in this situation. He hasn't had a lot of big victories in the last year or two, so he's definitely hungry to see what he can do. As he comes in for his first trick on the heels, you can see that wide stance, a big old back mob. Now potentially looking to take that to 5, he really dropped out of it. As he comes in, next trick, heel side 900, Now that's what I was talking about, the people with experience. The finesse that Shota had on that really separates him from the rest of the field. As he comes in, the double cab roll, a little bit sketchy. The screen, the feed was not the best on that, but that was a double flip. And into a tantrum to blind, taking Shota down. Now, I'm going to say that is the most unstereotypical fall I've ever seen from Shota. So he's going to be raging with himself. He's going to be fuming. He's literally going to be lying in the water going, you are so silly. And anyway, he's just got to move on from it. And if I know anyone, Shota is the man who will come back from this. He's not one to be taken down by a bit of a crash or by anything kind of to throw him off his game. So we're going to get him turned around and into pass number 2. All right, here comes Shota, fresh from a fall. He's definitely got a lot of hunger behind him right now. As he comes in, there it is, the Slim Chance 540 or the front mob 540, whatever you want to call it. He did it clean. He's ambitious right now. In on the toe edge, the G-spot missing the grab. So it's definitely startled him, that random and unusual fall. He's not up to his A game, but he's coming in. There's the, what the hell's going on? I'm sorry, that is my honest reaction, and I have no doubt that that is the exact same reaction that Shota Tezuka has had, as he just fell on a tantrum to blind again. That one looked like maybe he was going for a Moby Dick, potentially a Moby Dick 5. Who knows? Thankfully, Shota's got a good name, a good brand behind him. He's always smiling, so plenty more opportunity, and we will get on to our next rider. So Shota's gone down, Sam's gone down, Kobe's gone down. Gunther Oka is the only person to land a stand-up pass so far. So for the next 4 riders, the door has been left wide open because they can easily get on the podium now. Never mind the win. In fact, actually do mind the win, because now the win is still kind of wide open. So we got our next rider setting up. I'm not sure who it is. I'm pretty sure that is none other than Harley Clifford. There it is, the signature tail grab KGB. Does it bigger, does it better than anyone else in the world, and grabs the toe 9 right there. So Harley is back with a vengeance. He's been having some time off during the winter, got himself engaged, and there it is, the double tantrum, clean as a whistle. Harley Clifford is killing it right now as he comes in for his last trick. There it is, the hillside 9. Harley showing why he is Harley right there. Clean, concise, not even a little bit of a hand touch on the water, and that is what the judges want. And now a lot of people will say, well, Harley's won so much, he's done so many contests with the same tricks. But the thing is, who else does a double tantrum that easy? Who else does heel 9s that easy? Not many people, and that is why he is one of the all-time best wakeboarders, particularly best competitive wakeboarders. Now we'll just skip through to Harley's second run, because us waiting here for a minute, there's no point. First trick, toe side, blind Pete Rose, loses the handle. I've watched Harley for a lot of years, and I have never, ever, ever, ever seen him drop a handle on that. And that just goes to show it's the first contest of the year. Everyone's not kind of in the flow, you know, there's a lot of other elements that are going on. In fact, I know in the previous rounds of this, they had to actually ride in the dark. So when you go riding in the dark and then you're in the bright again, I know it sounds stupid, but all of a sudden you can see everything, and you would think that that would make it easier, but it can actually throw you off a little bit. Anyway, we will collect Harley faster than they did in Moomba because we can. So Harley's back up on the water right now. Is it going to be that blind Pete? No, goes for the Crow 5. Clean as a whistle. I keep saying that, and I need to stop saying that. But there it is, the back mob 5. Harley literally not going to miss much opportunity as he's still getting 3 tricks in. Coming in for his last and final trick, the double cab roll, sketchy, and unfortunately goes down, and that is probably the most uncharacteristical ride in a contest from Harley Clifford. 2 years ago he had a knee surgery. He came back last year and absolutely smashed it. He showed everyone that he is Harley Clifford and he is not afraid of any injuries. Then this year, having a little bit of a squabbly start, Thankfully, he's probably going to do about another 15 events this year, and I have no doubt that we are going to see him win 1, 2, 3, maybe even 5 or 6 of them. So we'll move on to our next rider. Okay, so next off the dock is Mr. Tyler Hyam. Now, I think I'm saying his second name correctly. I could in fact be wrong, as I don't actually know him because he's a fairly big newcomer. Now, Tyler, I don't know if you know, but he should have won Trick of the Year last year. I have absolutely no biasness to this. I just genuinely, he was the guy who did the double back Moomba. It was so clean, wake to wake. He is definitely going to be in wakeboarding for a long time, and he's setting up for his first trick right now on the heels. It is wrapped. What's it going to be? A big old wrapped rewind, so very similar to Kobe Francis, however probably not as difficult, as Kobe did not wrap up. And there it is, the Crow Mobe 540. Tyler Hyam right now wrapping up again, so 2 wraps in 3 tricks. Wakeboarding is changing, ladies and gentlemen, and there's a wrapped heel 9. Now that is a difficult trick. The tension plays all sorts of weird games at you. And they're coming in last trick, the ambi spinner as well. Tyler Hyam right now getting an absolutely lovely first pass. The confidence is going to be high. The endorphins are flowing, and he is none other than the man who is probably doing his best to get on the podium right now. So the boat is coming around the corner. Tyler Hyam, second pass. So far, he's definitely feeling on top of the world. He's in Australia. He's had a good first pass. He's opened up with a double cab roll, and that has to be the cleanest one we've seen so far. And in true Tyler Hyam fashion, he's wrapping up, wrapped backside 5. That is probably not the hardest trick. Now, he did stick a nice grab on it, but it is holding back. However, right there, oh, that back mob with the stalefish grab right there. Is that stalefish melon? I'm not really sure, but it was extremely nice. And one more wrap trick for the man that wrapped KGB 5. Definitely looking for the KGB 5, my mistakes. Unfortunately, only going KGB. That was like autopilot taking over. But Tyler Hyam is one of the only riders, himself and Gunther Oka, to make it back to the dock. And that is definitely going to be playing on our next 2 riders, who I believe are Nick Rappa and Corey Tunison. And now I'm not sure who is next, but of course we're about to find out. Alright, so next on the water we have none other than Nick Rappa. Now Nick has to be one of the most hardworking guys. He rose to the top of wakeboarding faster than anyone else ever has. And right now, he's in his home country and he's hitting the water right now. First trick. There it is, the Crow Mobe 540. I'm pretty sure he landed it. Yes, he did. He was hidden behind the boat right there. Now coming in, heel side approach. Nick, so solid, calculated in contest. The back Mobe 5, a little bit of a tail press, but that's not going to affect him too much as he sets into his his third trick. The heel side 900 just goes down. The feed dropped down this, but I have no doubt that's what he was going for. So that is the interesting thing about this 4-trick format. So in the olden days, riders used to be able to do 5, 6, or maybe even sometimes 7 tricks a pass. What happened with that was you would have some filler tricks. Instead of going 900, 1080s, double flips, you would have a little break in there, some time for you to breathe, to reset yourself. But now with this 4-trick format, there's no filler tricks. It's just boom, 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 boom. It makes it a lot more difficult for the riders. And that has obviously, I mean, I'm going to be honest, this is a very unusual contest. There's a lot of falling. Usually in the finals, you don't see very much falls. So definitely, it's going to play out very interestingly in the results. It definitely has to leave that man, Corey Tunison, on the dock, jumping up with excitement. He's just after having a shoulder injury, and now he knows it is literally wide open. He could take this. He doesn't even have to do his hardest run. In fact, we're probably not even going to see him do a 1080, or we'll see him do maybe a double flip or 2, but it won't be crazy because he doesn't have to do everything. No one has really set the bar that high, and it's going to leave a very interesting last run. But right now, Nick Rappa back on the water. I'm not so sure he's going to get space or time for another trick. The driver trying to help him out there by giving him a little shimmy right and then left. but I think he's just going to be past the boy. And yes, that's going to do Nick for his first pass. We're going to get him turned around, and then we're going to go past number 2. Alright, so the boat has entered the course. Nick Rappa waving to the crowd. He has got a vengeance right now, and there it is, the Indy off-axis backside 7, one of my favourite tricks Nick does. And you can see he's focused right now. He checks to see how much space he has as he does the double toe side back roll, getting a speed adjustment. He feels like the boat is going too fast, asking the driver, knock it down there, little bud, because we need to go a little bit slower for my next trick, which is the double tantrum. Nick Rappa adding that to the repertoire for 2019. His last trick right now, the double cab roll, 3 double flips in a row. I think that may be the first time that has ever happened, but nonetheless, Nick did have a fall, so it's probably not going to be enough to tip that top spot from Tyler Hylam, right now. But guys, there is one man left who can change everything. So the last man is Mr. Corey Tunison. Now, he is in a position that Harley Clifford is very used to and very familiar with. That position is last off the dock. You've seen everyone else. You have a massive advantage. But not only that, but so far the level of riding has not been as high as probably he would have expected, so the pressure is not as high. Now this can really separate the men's from the boys, because the thing is, when you don't have to do that much, it can sometimes be more difficult. You've got to have a more calculated approach. And also, you don't have that pressure that makes you land it, because remember, pressure creates diamonds. And hillside 900 for his first trick. Corey Tunison, he knows he can do this. He's got a lot to prove. He's straight out of a shoulder surgery. And there it is, back to back 900s. Now, if the pressure had been on, we may have seen a 1080 there. I've seen him do it second trick in a contest before. And there it is, the double cab roll. As clean as you could ever imagine. Very like Tyler Hyams. As he comes in, Pete Rose right there. A little bit of a late extra backside 180, busting through the wake. But that is a solid first pass for Corey. Now, when you get to the other end, he's definitely thinking, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. He knows he's got it in the bag. There's not much. But then at the same time, it surely has to be playing on his mind that there must be a hole in the water, or there must be something going on. Maybe the wake is not perfect, because everyone seems to be taking small crashes, which are very unusual crashes. Nonetheless, Corey Tunison, pass number 2. All right, here he comes in the closing moments of the men's pro wakeboard first WWA contest of the year, the backside 720. Putting his hand out saying that is an unusually sketchy landing, and now he's starting to become familiar with why the other riders might be falling. The back mob 540, it looked like he flinched taking that to 5, but still landed it so clean the judges won't know any better. And there it is, the mute Chromo 540 right now. Corey Tunison is switched on. Last trick, he knows if he lands this is it, the double toe side back roll. Slightly missing the pop off the wake, but he knows. You can see him cheering. He is stoked. So, ladies and gentlemen, the winning positions were Corey Tunison in first place, Tyler Hyam in second place, and Nick Rappa in third. It was an exciting final. It was definitely unusual. I best describe it like if you're watching an F1 race. There was a lot of crashes, a lot of bumps, but nonetheless, Mr. Corey Tunison making the comeback that we were all hoping to see. That is it for this video. I'm going to stop speaking like a commentator right now. I hope you enjoyed it. I just thought this would be a fun video to do. I have no idea how it's going to work out with the editing and all that, but I did enjoy making it, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Let me know if you'd like to see more of the WWA. If you would like to see me do this in the future, then get in touch and I'll let you know a price. I'm joking. Not really. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Congrats to all the riders, and we'll see you in the next video. I have to come all the way over there to give you the slap out.